Oh, hey, YouTube. I guess we should let people kind of roll in a little bit, but it seemed like a good idea to pass a Wednesday night, get a little painting in with some friends, have a little talk. How's it going, T-shirt?
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, it's your T-shirted historian, and yeah, hey, I'm doing good. Doing good. Just got my paint all mixed up, got my big nasty Garistro already primed and ready to go, so I'm just gonna throw on some dry brushing, I think, just to kind of see where we go with it.
I am still kind of deciding what to go with for minis, for what to paint, but I think I'll just put that away, actually. Oh, I think I should probably go ahead and actually get a couple of... sorry. It's leading away here. I got a bunch of barrels I'm meaning to finish painting up.
Barrels of Ming?
Barrels to finish painting.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, let's kind of make them a little lighter tan.
I think this brown may be just a bit too dark, but let's see how it goes on.
Oh.
Well,
I am almost ashamed to admit it, but I'm using a bunch of these like kind of really cheap craft store paints for some of this. But
you got to be careful with those things because they're not ground very finely, and so it's not such a big deal on big miniatures, but on little bitty ones, you can almost see like the paint particles themselves because they're so big.
Yeah, I was just kind of reading something to that effect. And I gotta move my light here.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you paint like tanks and big giant space marine stuff and all that, that's fine. But you get down to like fine details on the face and eyes, and you'll start having problems.
I'm just like I think they'll work for just doing a couple of barrels.
Yeah, should be fine for that. I still have people out there that say, "Oh, paint is paint," and I'm just like, no, it's not.
Depends what you're going for, because I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just grab some house paint.
Yeah, no kidding. Comes in buckets.
Yeah, you'll never run out. Home Depot was my mini paint supplier.
Bet you're paying way too much for that Citadel, aren't you? Okay, so this is kind of a wet, dry brush happening here. Because I'm going to do highlights and stuff here in a little bit. But this is a really good dry brush for that. This is from Ghost.
This is actually a terrible brush for this because it's basically all frayed out. I don't know why I grabbed that one.
Scoot these over.
Yeah, I had a session a while back where part of the plot in our campaign was that I had suggested I wanted to do something for like actual settlement building.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just kind of hardly using anything with minis, and over the years I've been slowly collecting those together. And figured that, well, I might as well give us a bunch of crates and barrels.
Oh, and if you hear some squeaking and stuff, that's the puppy.
Puppers.
Puppers. It's hard to remember to keep this underneath the camera where you guys can see it, because I'm so used to holding these things really close.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's one of the reasons why I picked a big miniature today, because I don't have to use any eye augmentation or anything else, because Lord knows, man, I have to use all kinds of lenses and stuff to see the smaller miniatures these days. That's coming along pretty good. You know who we really need to get into this painting hobby?
Ash?
Ash. How'd you know? Did you think of the same thing?
Yes.
Because you know he would totally be all about it. Oh, guys, really, look at this. I just started doing some Space Marines.
No, let me see if I can. If I can't move my camera down a bit. And also, by proxy, bring it closer to me.
Oh my gosh, looks like I'm painting a giant turd on camera there.
Well, I never.
Well, he'll look better in a little bit. You know, Grimm's got the night off. It's too bad he can't, he doesn't paint.
What am I doing? Why am I using brown for this? I should be using like this Durger metal.
You saw me painting with brown, and you were subtly influenced by it, I think.
He blinded me with his wizard paint magic.
Me? This is just dry brushing. And I'm probably slopping paint a whole lot more than I'm getting any on the model, but I'm going quickly.
I'm like, what's all this dry brushing wizardry you speak of?
Oh, you know how to dry brush?
Not too well.
Well, the trick is to take as much paint out of the bristles as possible. So that when you brush, you can brush really hard, but, you know, and always maintain the consistent stroke, and you will rub pigment off onto all the raised areas, and it really looks cool, and it's really good for models like this that have like lots of texture.
Okay.
Like it works pretty well with like dragons and stuff too, because they tend to have lots of scales, and that grabs a lot of paint. The only problem with this model is it's so big and so unwieldy that it's like picking it up is so top heavy. And I am kind of going a little sloppy.
I think I just kind of. Well, oh, yeah, I should probably move this actually properly on camera. Oh, well, I am making a mess.
It's okay. It's nothing you can't fix.
Exactly. I'm just gonna grab a little more paint, and we're just gonna paint a happy little metal ring.
Happy little metal ring. Yeah. Now I do know painters who are so pedantic about what they're doing that they'll actually go and they'll soak a miniature overnight in Dettol or brake fluid or something in order to get all the paint off if they make a mistake. I'm not that way. I actually, when the first set of miniatures that I got, looked like hot garbage. But I have not painted over them or tried to repaint them or anything, because if you keep repainting everything that you did, you won't show any sense of progress in your work.
It's kind of rough, but I mean, with my play group, with how little I actually get to use minis,
Mm-hmm.
it's they're usually they're perfectly happy with me just grabbing a bunch of whiz kids like pre-painted minis.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a player who he was a centaur, and I went out and like I need a centaur mini, so I just grabbed like the first one. I managed to get one for him.
Where'd you get that? That is cool. Look at that's a minotaur in a trench coat.
Yeah, this was a Hero Clicks.
Really?
Yeah, and it was 35 cents.
No kidding. Which one is that? Do you know? Looks like
Oh, it was
reminds me of Wrench.
It was from the Wonder Woman line of. If I can only get this to focus.
I need to get that one. See,
I'll
I used
send
to
you one.
love HeroClix. I used to love that game.
So I like to. Let me see if I can't get this to readjust again.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There he is.
Yeah, look at that guy. Yeah, I need to get one of those. I'll need to. Guess I need to check out eBay and see if I can get one on the cheap.
Oh, I got it. I got it for, like I said, that 35 cents, right from like Cool Stuff Inc.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So I just took a little hobby knife and I popped the base off, and I'll probably glue them on a new one. So now I have a nifty little Minotaur in a trench coat.
Be good for modern games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I like to go and pick up a lot of, we'll say, kind of generic enough looking minis,
Mm-hmm.
where it's not obvious it's an Iron Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this was Captain America with a sword and shield, but he looks like a town guard to me. And the players will never
Sorta.
notice. In fact,
Yeah.
Here, I'll just kind of show you a couple more I happened to scoop up. Like, I wound up buying like 4 minis total, and it didn't cost me more than like $2 with shipping. Oh, so they had a little Huntress.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah, their paint jobs are always kind of crap, but their miniatures are always pretty sweet.
Yeah, and a lot of times they'll wind up just even recycling the same molds for some of the WizKids stuff. It's just really, ultimately, the paint isn't as good, but for players who are just getting a bunch of, for me providing all the minis, they'll be happy enough.
Yeah.
This one's like super, like the cape just sticks way out, so it doesn't want to stand up. So I'll definitely have to put this one on a base. It was more of that like Wonder Woman line. I think it's supposed to be like Hypalia or like her mother.
Ah, I like that. I mean, a little bit of repainting, and that one really easily fits into any D&D game or any other OSR product.
And because they had a big Wonder Woman sale, well, of course we got to have like a Zeus.
There you go. This basing material I have on this Minotaur, or on this Goristro's base is still kind of spongy. So like I'm trying to hold the miniature down, and it's like my fingers are sinking into it. I'm like, oh.
Ooh. Yeah, this isn't quite as exciting a mini to paint because it's just barrels, and I'm gonna have to give this like a second coat at least.
Well, this is just a big, giant, ugly barrel.
Yeah, so I figure if I wind up stacking like 5, 6, 7 of them high in a little corner of a room somewhere, it'll look good enough from a distance.
Well, that's the main thing. It's like, are you painting for tabletop, or are you painting for prestige, or are you painting for heroes, or what? I mean, because it's like we always say, it's like tabletop looks good from 6 feet away. Or actually, I say war game looks about like good from 6 feet away. Tabletop looks pretty good from about 3 feet away, and of course, showpieces look good right up next to your face. So,
Well, I figured if I'm still, like I said, I'm still just kind of learning as I go with it,
Hmm.
and so we'll just kind of improve as we go.
That's the best way to learn is just to do it. You can watch all the videos you want and read all the books that you want. Fact of the matter is, you're never going to get any better unless you actually just get in there and do it.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't matter how crap your paint looks the first few times. I had like about a 10 to 15 year layoff of doing miniatures. And I wasn't necessarily all that good to begin with. But what happened is I started getting back into miniatures. And the first thing I started painting was Zombicide.
Ooh.
So, because I like that game because A, I love zombies, but B, I also I liked all the little sculpts for all the heroes and stuff, and I thought, well, this is pretty cool. I mean, even if I don't ever play this game, I have all these miniatures that I can use for my role-playing games.
Oh, that's one of the best ways just to get just to get bulk minis.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to get a bunch of board games, especially if it's like something that's clearance that nobody particularly cares for.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Well,
found that what was it, Cool Mini or Not does a lot of minis with a game.
mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a great big rabbit hole I wasn't ready for because Zombicide has tons and tons and tons and tons of miniatures, and they all look pretty cool. And so here I am, 4 years later, and I got boxes and boxes of miniatures, and very few of them are painted, but, I get around to them a little bit at a time.
Exactly.
But the nice thing is by picking up that Zombicide set, um, you get like about 30, 35 zombies in it. And it's not really challenging to paint a zombie. So my initial thought was, I'll get all my practice in painting zombies. And, worst case scenario, if they look like garbage, you paint blood over the garbage spots and nobody will know.
Yeah, that'd work out too. Maybe get a little bit of a green or a reddish wash.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck did this get a bunch of like hair on it? It's so
We have
weird.
cats.
This is true. Oh, so one of the other. I just got these primed, but the other day. So that Conan the Barbarian board game has
Oh,
had a
yeah.
bunch of terrain. I could pull the little sleeves out of the mini sometime for you.
Mm-hmm.
And they had these little terrain packs that would include stuff like little like piles of little mountains of skulls
Ah,
just piled up.
those would be easy to do.
You just get a big old like just make a wash up and
No, I'd spray them black. Then I would dry brush them with a nice bone color. Throw a nice black or brown wash on them, and then go back and highlight with a nice lighter white.
and I also got a little with that same pack a bunch of little sarcophagus.
Those are sweet. That Conan game is kind of a rabbit hole itself.
Oh, I have a. I'll take a picture I'll show you later, but there is just a massive box, tons of minis,
Uh huh.
like I think 15, 20 of certain soldier sculpts, and they would give me like 3 or 4 different sets like that.
Mm-hmm. Because it's Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, I think I wound up raising like $3 million.
Yeah. I always meant to get in on that, and I had so many other Kickstarters going at the time that when that came around, I was like, I'm broke. Just really sad because I'm a diehard Conan fan.
Oh yeah, that unfortunately was also one of the first Kickstarter campaigns I sort of got in on. Well, I say unfortunately because, well, rabbit hole of, oh yeah, I'll back this one. Hey, I want to get more minis, and you don't even think about it. But then, about like a year and a half, 2 years later, you start getting all these packages in the mail.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
I think the postman probably hates me because I'm always getting all these heavy ass boxes from Poland and stuff. Another miniature shipment. Yep, sure is. Another game. Yeah, I originally got pretty heavy on board games because one of my best friends and I used to play all the time. Unfortunately, he passed away from COVID in 2019. Actually, no, it was 2020. Because this month would have been, I think I want to say his 56th birthday.
I'm sorry
And he
to hear
died
that.
just like a few weeks before then. Yeah, I miss him, but, still have all these board games, including one I ordered that still hasn't shown up yet, and I had it specifically with him in mind. Because Seamline did that Egyptian game Ankh, I think it's called.
I think I did. I think I didn't see that one.
It's Kickstarted, but it hasn't arrived yet. And when I originally bought that, I thought, oh man, this will be so much fun. He and I will play this, and because he loves everything Egyptian. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen now. But such is life, I guess.
So it sucks to hear that.
But maybe I can get some other friends together to play it.
I've got to turn my body like 100 degrees to go see my camera to go check my monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of an unfortunate thing. Really angle.
Yeah, I know it looks really sloppy, but see how it's hard to see because the light's blowing it out so much. I'm gonna go to a higher shade of brown. You'll see the contrast a lot better. This is a brown that's very close to that color of black. Don't chew that. It's a little rigid brown. If we do regular painting streams and stuff like that, we could probably get sponsorship from Army Painter because they're very good about doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you have a regular painting channel, they will sponsor your videos and stuff and send you free samples and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, that's I don't really know a ton of the hobby websites. I've got a couple I use, but I'm gonna have to check them out.
Well, it might help to have like like a regular painting stream first. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what their rules are on it. I mean, I think we just go there and just say, "Hey, you want to, do all my stuff?" And they're like, "Who?"
They just look at her like, oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. We're too busy sending stuff to other people. Actually, it's kind of funny because they were sending out samples of their speed painting stuff to other people or to mainline YouTube channels that had hobby stuff, and I contacted them for a demo kit, and they said, well, unfortunately, all of our demos are earmarked for other painters and stuff. I was like, oh well. I didn't get all broken up about it. I mean, I understand. I mean, I have like one painting video out of all of them.
Oh yeah, I still need to go around the very edges, the very rims of the barrel here still.
All the things you want to chew on. Why do you have to chew on my things?
Yeah, right now I just hear a cat crying. He's been fed. He's been given treats. He's got wet food.
He just knows you got some more somewhere.
He thinks that eventually someone will cave. Someone will cave and give him.
But will you?
I mean, probably.
He knows what he's doing.
The other one will just sit at the end of the at the end of the kitchen table, and if she wants something, she'll reach out and she'll just kind of grab you with her claw.
Does she push stuff off the table?
Not so much. It's more so she knows how to like basically pick things up with her claw. So she'll like grab the mouse. It's like kind of like a little hook and fling.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that it works for her. She wants to go play around. She can do that.
Almost feel like I'm kind of overdoing the fur because you can't really see the highlights all that well with what I'm doing, so I might need to actually throw in something besides just browns to kind of change it up a little bit. I've seen some of these painted up before, but I have never really seen a paint job that I thought was just spectacular. I mean, that's not to insult anybody who painted them. It's just, I mean, I understand it's like a big, giant, mostly one color miniature. It would be difficult to make it stand out much no matter what you did, because unless you're getting in there and you're painting every individual fiber, which I could probably do that. I don't know how crazy I want to make myself with this.
You're crazy. That's masochism.
Well, I have some perfect brushes for that.
Yeah, I could probably go get a single like cat whisker.
I don't need anything like that, but some of these ghost brushes I've got, like, yeah, this is a tiny right here. That's just got like a little tiny chisel point.
Ooh.
I got this little guy. Perfect for doing eyeballs and stuff.
So I've been at the moment I don't have any of my other minis here with me, but because I was kind enough to basically just leave a bunch of my minis out at my at the DM's house to offer up for his other players for his other game. And he lives only about a block away, so I can go hop on a bike and get down there in 2-3 minutes.
What? Did you get your new car yet?
Oh yeah, I've got that. I'm just like, why waste the gas when I can?
Oh, of course. I mean,
well, then again, it's Michigan in December, so
yeah, you're gonna freeze your butt off. I don't know how cold does it get over there. I mean, because you're close to the lake, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, in Michigan, you're never more than like 10 miles away from a lake at any point, and there's a lot of like little tiny like inland ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that said, it was like I think 39 today.
Jeez. Yeah,
Which
I think
like
I'd just about die.
I remember like the coldest I remember it being was like 10 below at one January.
Mm-hmm.
Which was so cold that my car wouldn't even start.
How we doing for viewers and stuff? Anybody watching?
Looks like at the peak I saw 2.
2 people. Well, no commenters though, huh?
Unfortunately not.
Oh well.
Yeah, but
it's okay, people. We talk back.
And hey, the most important part is well, aside from being entertaining, is that we would get some stuff painted. So there's stuff accomplished in the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with just a tiny bit of armor gray. Okay, more than a tiny bit because it's all like gushing out of there. What are you chewing on now?
The paintbrush. I couldn't help it.
She's a puppy. It's like anything that she can put in her mouth.
It's like a toddler.
Mm-hmm. Chewing a piece of plastic, really? Chewing like an old tab off of one of my Blu-ray cases.
Oh, those ones that like seal it shut.
Yeah, they're supposed to, but I have a few that were cheaply made, so they came apart. Because, economics.
Yep.
Ugh. I don't know how that's going to look. Try and darken that down a little bit because it's going to look kind of garbage. Well, I have actually been kind of mainlining RPG Pundit here lately.
Oh yeah, you've been watching some of his stuff?
Yeah. I like much of what he has to say. I don't agree with 100% of it, of course, but I don't know anybody who does.
He makes some good points, and his videos are usually just long enough for me to drive to work.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I got about a 10-15 minute drive, and usually if he posts something like and that's kind of in that little period between like I've gone to bed and I'm waking up, the 5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah,
it's just long enough. Well, it's not too bad. I'm not too disappointed so far with these barrels. The camera's not zooming in enough. There's not focusing on them too much, but I think it's working out pretty well for him.
yeah. I think you can see now. I think that little bit of highlighting kind of is doing the trick. Can you see the variations in the fur patterns now just by looking at it?
Yeah, actually. Ooh, I like
Okay.
that.
So it's working out.
At first it looked like it was a bit of a goldish kind of like this aesthetic to it, which I'm like, that's. I'm sure It's probably just like the light playing tricks on my eyes.
It may be. It may also be the light I'm using. So I've got an overhead, but then I've also got this ring light that's on it. I don't know, maybe if I change some of the settings.
I think I'm gonna have to like
Oh, that's just
invest
dark
in
again.
invest in a third ring light or something just to give me a little better lighting for this spot overhead.
That's cool blue. That's a really like a sepia tone almost. That's kind of harsh blue. I don't know. I think that works about the best. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try picking up some of his products just to see how they are, because some of his stuff really looks good. Lion and Dragon, of course, sounds interesting to me. Um,
So I have two of his products.
yeah,
I've shown you the Invisible College.
Invisible College, yeah, which actually is not, the first time I saw that, I thought, oh, is it kind of like going to be like a Harry Potter type thing? And it's like, no.
He guy does his research, and I was kind of going through it the other day humorously. Like he had a list in the back of the book of various you know modern day factions that might be trying to push for political power
Mm-hmm.
and influence that you could use as villains. And it was just like all kinds of stuff. He was just like nailing so many different groups. I think video game journalist was one of like the 100+ options on this list,
Mm-hmm.
alongside your more fundamental religious types. And
Well, he is an
the
actual historian, just like me. I'd honestly have to bow to his superior knowledge in most cases, though, I think, because he's very well studied. I mean, yeah, I'm a historian too, but it's kind of like, I really pick and choose what I like and what I don't, and what I study and what I don't. It's not like I can just tell you everything about every piece of history ever.
So the other property of his I have is the Star Adventurer.
That one looks cool. How is that?
The thing I do like about it is like all mechanic without any sort of fluff to it. Which, give me 1 second, I'll actually grab the book real quick. It's sitting
Okay.
on my coffee table. Aha, there we go. Yep, I decided to actually order a physical copy of this book.
Oh yeah, I would. That's what I would do.
And one of the things that is kind of note is there was like a bit of an error here with the art on the cover, because they have
Mm-hmm.
these little bits of white around the figures that
Mm-hmm.
is not on the actual the black and white copy there.
You think it's a printing error?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because it's supposed to be like lens flares that just didn't translate well into color. But
Well, as long as the information inside is good.
Oh yeah, but it is effectively just kind of the basic bare bones stats for a sci-fi RPG without any sort of fluff to it whatsoever. So you're free to design all that as you will.
Yeah, I think that's what he was going for when he made that supplement. To hear him talk about it.
We have our psychic mystic. Totally not Jedis.
No.
Yeah, just like it's very bare bones, very basic, but it's perfect for what you're gonna expect out of it. And it's going through a whole bunch of stuff here: fire damage, falling damage, GM tips, starship combat. Which I could probably just look up a link for it real quick.
I was about to say, did you got physical copies? Did you get
the PDF?
Yeah, did you get a PDF also?
I do.
Did you? I guess you got it through drive-through?
I did.
Yeah, I like that company. I do. I mean, Lulu is okay. You know, people who use Lulu, there's nothing wrong with Lulu, but it just seems like drive-through RPG has a faster turnaround time than Lulu. So.
Oh, it's actually, this book's only $9.99 right now.
Really?
For the physical copy too.
Dang, I know what I'm going to be spending my my next paycheck on. Oh man, I missed a bunch of spots here with my spray can.
Oh no, that's not good.
Well, the thing comes pre-primed, but it comes primed in white. And I hate that so much. Because the school of miniature painting that I subscribe to is Jason... oh gosh, what's his last name? Anyway, his whole thing is to start dark and build your highlights because it looks more natural, as in nature. You know, because basically he likes to let light define the features of his art or his characters and stuff.
Oh, okay. You just got I got that link posted in the chat, and anyone comes along, they can find
Pundit?
it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I hope he decides to get on my Dungeons and Discussion show one of these days.
I have talked with him a little bit, and he has said that, you know, if schedules are okay for some other shows I recommended him for, that, you know, he's willing to do so.
He told me I need to get my viewer count up before he'll come on my show. And I kind of thought that was funny because, you know, most everybody replied to him, if you come on his show, his viewer count will go up. Which is true. But, you know, it's not like he wouldn't be in good company because, you know, we had Steven Chenault from Trollord Games on yesterday. And that was kind of a big fish for me. And then next week we've got James Edward Reggie IV, the guy who is behind Lamentations of the Flame Princess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'll have to tune in for that one.
Yep. So my biggest issue is the time of day that is
because it's so early in the morning.
Well, I'm at work.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
I am able to tune in, but the problem comes from the fact that it's quite literally like the show starts just before my lunch.
Oh,
So I'm good for that first half hour or so. And then like 10:30 rolls around my time, and then I go to lunch.
yeah. Well, I set that show up to take advantage of Grimm's schedule because I figured, Grimm goes out of his way to be there for me on weekends. So I wanted to make this show as painless as possible on him. So that's why we set it up early in the morning, because it's only like afternoon over there.
Oh, I'm not complaining that you're doing it at the time. I like that it does because I can listen a little bit before and after lunch.
That's nice. Yeah. I do hope one of these days we get more of the UK crowd. That'd be cool. All right. I think he's about dry brushed as we need. Now I'm going to try to throw in some highlights. Because if you ever look at dark fur, it usually has some silky elements to it. It's not just, flat color. So I need to pick out some highlights, and instead of dry brushing that, I'm going to go in there and paint those.
You know what color Ash would pick?
Purple?
Pink.
Yeah, he would. He would do pink. He likes pink.
We about had a fight over the discussion of who would get to play the Pink Ranger.
He's something else, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Ash is a great guy.
He is a great guy. Oh, give me just a minute. I'll be right back. Gotta let this dry anyway.
Okay, so we are just gonna get in the top of this band a little bit. And we're just gonna go easy with it. No need to rush. We have all the time in the world, except the phone call. Who could that be on the phone? Why, I do believe it's a spam caller. But that's alright, we don't need to answer that. We're just gonna go back to our brushing. One of the things I like about this paint here is that it's not one that, with the amount of painting I'm doing here with this, I don't exactly have to go back to my little well of ink too often. So we can just kind of go along. We can get 2 of these at a time for the barrel. For these little steel bands on the barrel. And we're going to go and keep turning this around. And we are still going. It's our canvas.
All right.
What we want. I'm just doing my little Bob Ross over here.
Doing your little Bob Ross. Let's paint a happy little barrel. Yeah, here's some other fur examples I've done in the past right here.
Ooh.
This is a black minotaur.
Oh.
And come on, focus camera.
But he is. Oh, wow.
And you can see here, it's like he was actually flat. So in order to make a fur texture, I literally had to paint it out. And this is a Seamline too. He looks pretty good when he hits the table. People notice.
Oh yeah, I would call that a showcase piece.
And then there's this one. This is from Kingdom Death. This is the white. This is the white Giga Lion.
Giga's right. Holy cow! Look at the bulging veins.
Yeah, he is not to be played with.
No, he'll be fine. Look, he's got a snack.
Yeah, he'll make a snack out of you. Oh yeah, he's even. He does have a hefty pair of nuts. But you can see right down in here too. There's a little
Redhead.
Yeah. These are the heads of the main characters for Kingdom Death.
Ah, that's a cool little feature.
Yeah, this is a Kingdom Death miniature. And I love the Kingdom Death game. That's one of my favorites to play. But don't have anybody to play it with right now. I mean, I could play it solo, of course, but, where's the fun in that?
Yeah, I've got a couple like that. I like. I could go and play by myself, but I'm also looking at that big old stack of comics that I'm like slowly. Actually, the last couple days I've been going through a little bit by a little bit. Oh yeah, this is gonna be perfect. This is. I'm happy enough with this as long as I can as long as I can be as good as like a WizKids painting job or a little better, I'll be happy.
I think most of those WizKid paint jobs that you see on the boxes and stuff, I think a lot of them are done by computer.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No, I mean, they do have some actual paint stuff. And they usually have videos that link to those. But some of their miniatures, I think they do those with just with a little computer. Golly, having a hard time getting the angle here, but.
Oh, I hear the train off in the distance. There's this little railroad nearby. Well, it's really more of a just kind of like a touristy sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a little closed train track, and they'll bring Thomas the Tank Engine there every about once a year or so. So that kind of draws a whole crowd.
Oh, nice.
It's one of those like old timey type of town recreations, like come visit Michigan from 1834.
I like stuff like that, though.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, they used to have a little gun show with it, where you could like ride around in the little train, and
like have a little shoot 'em out Western show type thing.
Oh yeah,
kind of like old Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite thing in old Tucson. Those little shootout things. And they used to do those like every hour, I think. I always wonder if the guys doing those got tired, but oh gosh, go out there and do this again. Jeez.
You think maybe this time I don't have to be Black Bart?
Can I not fall off the roof this time?
We do this show every time the same way every day, 3 times a day, 5 days a week. You're gonna take your fall. Alright, so I'm kind of waiting on those to dry a little bit. But I'm thinking I might move on to a and actually open up one of these minis and start getting that painted up.
Do that.
Alhoon and Intellect Devourers.
Alhoon. I love the Intellect Devourer in Baldur's Gate, if you haven't seen those things.
We're talking the from the Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I think when I picked that up, it was like the druid wasn't even in the game yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a minute.
Well, you can free an Intellect Devourer from somebody's head. It's pretty gross. But when you do, it has its own name, and it'll talk to you and everything, and go fight for you. But it's called Us. We are us.
I like the fact that they do give you like a paint example on the back, so you at least have something you can kind of go by.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can be totally original.
Isn't an Alhoon basically like a Lich Mind Flayer?
I believe so.
But I'm sure they're good guys. They're just misunderstood.
Oh yeah. You know, they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. They're just trying to reproduce like everybody else, and can't help it if they have to eat other people's brains.
I think I wanted to be born this way. I can't
Not
help
my
it.
fault.
Your brain just looks delicious.
Would you begrudge a zombie for eating people's brains? Why are you getting so upset at me? I'm really a sweet guy and a good conversationalist.
I like the tap dance. I think we're going to use a little bit of a... I think we're going to go mix a little bit of this brilliant red with some solid white. See if we can't get more of a pink for that gray matter.
I was going to say, that's going to look really pink.
Well, I'm trying to work with what I have available, so... Maybe a tan? Let me see how that looks in a little... So I should probably shake that up a little bit.
Now, I had a friend who had a really good suggestion. He said, if you're not sure about how a paint scheme is going to look, he says, take a photo of whatever miniature it is before while you've got it primed. And then you can use color correction and all that stuff to play around with color schemes till you find one that you like. I thought, wow, that was a really good idea. And I just never did it.
Oh, yeah, that tan's not too bad for a starting color. And then I can maybe just add in a little... lighten that up a little bit. So we'll see how that looks.
You think, am I gone too crazy with this white, or?
I don't think I'd go too much further with it. What's the rest of the back look like? I think it should be a little heavier on the shoulders, but then you kind of lighten up as you go down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly just the tops that I'm going for. Although I suppose, it's a hell creature. I suppose I could always kind of like make it more of an orangey.
Ooh.
That might be kind of cool, actually. Oh, now I must try that. Hold on. Give it a whole infernal spin. Let's see. Molotov flames. Why not? Let's try that.
Molotov.
Good band, by the way. They're from Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Prominently featured in the first episode of Breaking Bad.
You know, I have not seen Breaking Bad.
What? Ah.
Hey, there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen, and I feel like I
You and
need to like
Ash.
start. I feel like that would be kind of fun just to like tell people like, oh, by the way, I've actually not seen like the first Matrix.
Have you not?
I have not. I saw two.
Oh, well, if you see 2 and haven't seen 1, then I'm kind of like, yeah, that's going to mar your experience a little bit.
Ooh, what's this? Why, it is Brightest Day in the chats. Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Brightest?
What up, BD?
Beady, beady, beady.
Let's go.
Beady, beady, beady. Fuck you, Buck.
And he says that Bruce Lombardo is going to be pissed he's not in this.
Yeah, where is Bruce Lombardo, huh? He always puts his show on kind of like at a time when I can't watch because I'm usually either prepping for my show or... He's good, though.
Oh?
Yeah, he is. Well, okay, honestly, I've not seen him paint miniatures, so I can't speak to that so much, but I mean, as a GM and just as a generally cool guy, he's a good guy.
Okay, I may have slightly overestimated the amount of paint I actually need for these teeny tiny intellect devours that can sit on my thumbnail.
Yeah, I would have gone with like a fleshy color first, just to... But you do you. See how it turns out.
And I have a dry brush here I can try out.
Do those intellect devours, do they have all the little cracks and stuff in the brain itself?
Oh, it's not going to focus, but yes, there are some on there. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I'd wash that thing. You don't have any Citadel paint, do you?
I actually
Citadel
have a couple
wash
here, but it is unfortunately just the odd like Agrax Earthshade.
Oh, that's a good one.
I have a Way Witcher Green.
Waywatcher Green, yeah.
I do have Bloodletter.
Okay. So what you can do is paint your little brain, guys, nice and pink. And then mix some of that Agrax Earthshade with some of the Bloodletter, and use that to wash and get down inside those cracks. Yeah, I bet it'll be pretty startling.
We're gonna make sure we're gonna get deep inside his crack with that Bloodletter.
That would work too.
And because we have two of them, we can do them both at the same time. Ah, I gotta crack the plastic. Crack the plastic.
Plastic cracker. Uh-oh, you got demonetized. Uh-oh, YouTube just canceled us. Oh, no.
But, Mama Susan, it's actual plastic we're cracking.
What does everybody keep saying? Mama Susan is someone named Susan like the head of YouTube or what?
Oh, yeah.
Or Google?
Susan Wojcicki.
Susan Wojcicki.
Yeah, so she's kind of become that, like, it's kind of like when you call out to a deity.
Mama Susan, please don't demonetize me.
No demonetization.
Oh, no demonetization. No. We're not even monetized yet, so we're still just playing.
Oh, and just to show you, one's a glaze and one's a shade.
Mm-hmm. I have those. I do not like Citadel paint for the most part, but I have to admit their technical line is really, really good. Good stuff.
Ooh, I found a barrel I missed. I'll have to get back to that.
That orange looks pretty cool, I think, but the white kind of complements it pretty good. But that Molotov is really light. So I'm going to go with a more striking orange, because in fact, here is a Citadel paint that I do like, and that is Troll Slayer Orange, which is honestly, it's like super duper bright orange. That camera really has it so blown out you can't see what the colors look like, but
Yeah, we're getting just a little splash of that little reddish on there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it looks really pinky.
There, so we kind of have that before after, and I can use that. I can use a little bit of that earth shade to try and get into the group, the brain folds.
The brain folds. Something you never thought you'd say on a YouTube channel.
Okay, deep in those brain folds.
I don't, there's probably a scientific name for those, but I don't know what it is.
Brain flap.
Probably has something cool like carbulus carbunculi or something, something Latin that, some priest would say the name of.
Yeah, the kind of name that you say and the furniture starts to levitate.
Yeah, and you need to get an old priest in to exorcise the place afterward.
Okay, well, actually, that second one is kind of turning out better. I kind of like the look of the second one better. I kind of got rid of some of the excess paint before I moved it to the mini.
Very interesting.
There we go.
It's looking good, dude. I like that.
And then I'll have to. Oh, I mean, it's one of those like, oh, it's so small. It's a little bit of a pain to handle, but we're gonna do it. And then I still got to figure out what I'm gonna, how I want to handle the arms and legs.
I thought you were gonna say what I'm gonna name it.
I'm gonna call one Bruce and the other one Lombardo.
Lombardo, maybe?
Yes, Lombardo. Yeah, we'll go with that. And because I don't want to clean up a mess, I'm going to make sure to put that cap back on that glaze.
Yeah, these Citadel paint pots, I did not like. But truth is, I have Citadel paint that is probably older than Esh.
I think I have some old like apple barrels here that are older than Esh.
Golly, those are some Walmart brand right there.
Oh,
Apple
like,
Barrel.
just because I happen to have one right here, like the wrapper doesn't even want to stay on.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not kidding. I think one has a copyright on it of 1990.
When was Ash born? About 19. Well, no, not too. Well, no, about 1998 or something like that. He's a young fella.
Oh dang! I didn't realize he was quite that youngin.
Well, I think he's like what, 26?
I'm not actually. I think 26, 25. So you
Yeah.
might actually.
He's just a young pup, but we love him.
I'm pretty sure his like ears are ringing from all the times we've talked about him here.
He's like, what is going on? He'll pop in on stream in a minute.
Ooh, actually, that really worked. I threw on a little bit of that earth shade, and it's kind of faint. I think it helped kind of overall darken it, but I am happy with that kind of reddish that it has. Unfortunately, it's not really coming across too well, but it did overall darken the paint a bit.
Well, I think using a little bit of this orange to highlight kind of has worked out pretty good. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Gives it.
So, were you thinking about doing anything with those those bracers?
Oh yeah. I have plans for those, but those are gonna be like one of the last things I do. I also have to get these little spikes.
Of course.
But since you mentioned the bracers, yeah, let's go ahead. There's a reason I went over those in brown, because some painters will disagree with me on this, but it is actually your golds and your metallics tend to look better against brown surfaces. So let me see what I got here. Now, if I was a really super duper talented painter, I could do those up in non-metallic metals. But I'm not that super talented yet.
And yet is, of course, the key word there.
Yeah. Maybe someday. I do practice it every once in a while, but for this, I think we'll just keep it simple.
The rule of KISS.
Let's see. Copper. I don't know. I think the copper might be just a little too close to the same skin color, but the bronze should be good. I don't want to use gold because I don't think gold would work good. Although I do have a rich gold. Boy, that would stand out nice, wouldn't it?
I mean,
It's just I hate to think of a critter like this having gold on it. You know what I mean?
I mean, the only thing that came to mind was like almost like, I hate to say, like a brighter, like an orange or something, because it's supposed to be kind of like a demonic.
Well, what I can do is I can use bronze, and then I can add in a little bit of rusting and some other stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, well, let's see. What copper does not rust; it just gets patina. Bronze does not rust; it just gets patina. So it needs to be a metal that can rust. So it needs to be like an iron. Huh, an iron caster.
Hey, it's almost like we planned that out.
Almost. But let's see. Here's a little bit of bronze. I got bronze and I got light bronze. I think I'm going to try those and make those work. So, worst case scenario, just paint over it. Not the end of the world. Wow, that's really dark.
I don't go. I always have that instinct of like, oh yeah, I should probably just like paint the bottom of the base as well. But
What do you mean, like the underside?
yeah, I don't know why. It's just kind of like hey, that's a big open surface that should at least have something on it. But no, if I'm just gonna, paint this or glue this down to the little black plastic base that it came with,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a wasted paint, wasted effort.
Let's see. I think this is a number 5. So I'm gonna catch the Matrix, I think, on Sunday, or maybe it's Spider-Man. I'm not sure which, or maybe both. I don't know.
I would say certainly catch Spider-Man. I saw that. I loved it.
Everyone has said that is a really good film. So, and Jace already kind of spoiled part of it for me. So I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you didn't have to say shit. Why did you do that?
He's like, I'm Norwegian. If I can't see it, I have to ruin it for everyone else. Because that was basically what he told me when he was like saying it the other day after.
Oh, so he showed you the same picture?
Oh no, I mean like he. This was like before. This was like the Thursday night or so before when they just, or it was like basically that night they shut down,
Oh, uh-huh.
and he was getting a little upset, but which I can kind of just I can see why he's upset.
Yeah, but
But
that's no excuse to ruin it for somebody else, though.
right. No, I agree. That is no excuse.
I had a kid who I detested immensely, but back when Infinity War first came out, he told me, that, oh yeah, everybody in the film, they get turned to dust at the end, and I'm just like, ugh. So I went through the entire movie being pissed off because I knew how it was going to end. So, in retaliation, what I did was, when Endgame came out, I made sure to get the earliest sneak preview I possibly could so I could beat him, because I knew he would ruin that for me too.
I thought you were telling me like, and you walked in, and you're like, oh yeah, and then oh so and so dies.
No. I just made sure I saw it before he did, and then I rubbed his nose in it. Take that, little bastard.
Oh, you get what you fucking deserve. Oh yeah, so I have had one book I wasn't 100% happy with from Drive Through.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got a copy of I think it's what Changeling the Lost for New World of Darkness.
Oh, it's because it's NWAD, yeah.
Well, the reason why I got that was because the people I was playing with, they were all big on New World of Darkness.
Ugh.
So that was the only amount of it I had really had a chance to play. So I didn't have the comparison of the older stuff.
Yeah, I'd have been like, sorry, gang, I don't bow to peer pressure. Call me back when you want to do the 20th anniversary edition stuff and play it just like it's supposed to be. But that's me, I'm an asshole, so.
Well, little 18-year-old Iron Caster's like, oh yeah, guys, I'll play this game with you guys. Well, I bought that book like 4 or 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
But the idea was we were gonna play a Changeling campaign, and I figured I might as well get a book.
In hindsight, not a bad idea. Wow. Okay, see, that's what I was afraid. See the bronze, how it has kind of melded into the same color there? But I think I got a fix for that. Hold on. See, I also have this light bronze.
Ooh.
So
I think I could probably stop at those intellect devours because, like, oh, actually, no. I have to do something about the little arms and legs on them.
yeah, they got the little feet.
And let's use a little bit of, like, kind of whatever paint was sitting around, paint in the bases.
I guess if you want to make it disturbing, get flesh tones and add like a slight purplish reddish hue to it. That'll just make people go yikes.
Which now I just want to see like a Scooby Doo in the Underdark.
Oh God. Well, these days you could probably do that because the Underdark is nice and safe because Drow are kinder and gentler and less offensive.
Yay! They're making everything better. Look,
so much.
Punk waddled in.
Hey, Punk Waddle.
Hey, painters. One day I'm gonna get an actual setup and paint some models.
Yeah, you totally should.
Do that and join us. The more, the merrier. Oh, I do have a flesh color.
Totally do that. Make it creepy.
And a twilight purple. Or a Phasarus purple. I'm thinking that
Phasarus.
Yeah, Phasarus.
Phasarus. Do you have a succubus skin?
I have a succubus red.
Yeah, use that. Succubus red should be good.
All right. That with the flesh.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, yeah, I got a little. There was like a little bit of it got caught in the. There's my mixing brush. Yeah, it really just turned it to more of a brown.
Did it? Oh.
No, it's actually kind of on camera. It looks a bit more red. You know what? Let's make it. Yeah. Yeah, let's add an extra little, like, half drop or so. Punk Waddle says he did some basic painting on a Gundam model once. Acrylics. But I didn't give good ventilation. Did it at least look good? I mean, all I'm imagining now is, like, getting high on paint fumes. And, like, yeah, well, man, this color really works. Man, we're like coming up with new colors here, man. Yeah, this is just getting better. You know, yeah, we better put an extra layer on there.
Their naming schemes for some of these paints is pretty funny too. I mean, like Citadel in particular is kind of like, wow, it's really like all about your world setting, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
because they have like Daemonette pink and all that stuff.
Or they'll call like Nuln oil.
Nuln oil, yeah. It's like, what's a Nuln? Baby, why are you crying? I'm right here. Oh, I'm totally painting off camera. My apologies.
Oh, that's good, Punk. That's good, Punk. Says it looked okay. You thinned the paints. Okay, so it looked okay. And that's okay. But you know what?
Okay.
Yep, just as long as we're happy with our hobbies and we keep improving.
Getting better is the only way to get better. And the only way you get better is to keep doing it.
Why do we fall down, Master Wayne?
So we can learn how to get back up again. Oh, dude, man. You know, I saw that. Well, okay, I didn't see the whole thing, but I started watching Birth of the Dragon.
I saw you tweeted about that.
Yeah. Oh, man, that pissed me off so much. Because they painted out... They painted... since we're talking about painting. They painted Wong Jack Man, who was the guy that Bruce Lee fought in order to, earn the right to teach white students, or I should say non-Chinese. And they painted Wong Jack Man out to be this, grandmaster and, super duper virtuous good guy and all this other stuff. And they painted Bruce Lee out to be this little arrogant, asshole. I mean, like, seriously, at one point, he's picking on one of his students, he's like, because they're shooting a scene and, and the guy tells him, he's like, oh, Master Lee, I think you kicked me in the nuts. And he said, well, that's because you need to step back when I throw kicks. Yeah, but if I do that, I won't be in the scene. You're not important, dipshit. And I'm just like, nah, fuck this. I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. This is crap.
So you're saying it's Quentin Tarantino approved?
Basically, yeah. Except, I think it was actually a Chinese production.
Huh. I
believe so. I would have to do some research. Why would a historian do that? But yeah, I think it was Chinese in origin, and to me, it kind of felt like a propaganda film, because it was it was painting Lee out to be this, spoiled, arrogant, uh, guy who just was going to do whatever he wanted to, and Wong Jackman was this good, solid Chinese citizen, doing his duty and doing right by all of the old traditional martial artists and et cetera, et cetera. And I was just kind of like, nah, this is crap. I'm pretty sure it didn't happen this way at all. Although there's so many different accounts on the way that fight played out and the end results and all that stuff. So the only people who know what really happened was probably Bruce and Wong Jackman. And I believe they are both deceased. So.
Oh. Gotta give me a little boost.
You got some energy drink there? Or?
Yeah, I wound up getting a G Fuel because my gas stations now sell it in cans.
Nice. I still have the powder mix.
Oh, I've got some of that too. But it's like I want to try a new flavor. I don't want to spend $35-$40 for a tub on one and not like
exactly. Yeah. I wish they had like sampler sizes.
I mean, don't they do a couple of like a little variety pack powder mix?
Not that I've seen. I don't know. G Fuel, if you would like to sponsor us, we would be happy to take you on. We're not big enough yet, but I mean, one day we'll be as big as Angry Joe, maybe, possibly. He pimps their stuff out all the time.
We'll call the flavor thinned paint.
Thinned paint, yes. Golly, can you imagine trying to do all your painting on lots and lots of G Fuel? It'd be like, okay, now for this part, you're going to want to hold steady. Now, I like caffeine, though. Caffeine makes my senses sharp. It's funny, our RPG Pundit always sounds like he does way too much caffeine when he gets on there. I'm just kind of like, whoa, dude. Hey. It's just, Of course, he's always drinking coffee on those.
Yeah, I'll say that it is kind of fun to watch him, put that historian to work, and he's like telling you about the different like Venezuelan coffee.
Yeah. Although I did try his Vietnamese coffee recipe and I did not like it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong V letter country.
Well,
I said Venezuela.
Venezuelan. Well, he does all kinds of coffees, and I like that he tells you what he's smoking too all the time. That's kind of cute at the end of his videos. But
yeah, it's become his sign off, and it's like I may not necessarily be as interested in pipes, but it's good for the historical knowledge.
Well, it kind of humanizes him a little bit more too, because I think a lot of the woke folks out there would like to do their best to dehumanize us as much as possible and make us look like we're criminals and subhumans and all this other stuff, and I'm kind of like, no, we're just kind of regular people. We just have a difference of opinion. Why are you getting so worked up about it? But you know how it goes.
One of the first DMs that I played in a game up for was a woman, of all things. Yeah, because that's not a new invention.
Oh.
And she, not only that, she was a massive, like, Star Wars nerd.
Uh-huh.
A couple of us wound up going out to a Renaissance festival, a Renaissance fair, and I'm sitting in the back of her car, and it is just full to the brim with like used paperback Star Wars novels.
Wow.
I'm just like moving over the Boba Fett trilogy or the Bounty Hunter trilogy and some of the new Jedi Order.
Mm-hmm. So what happened?
Oh, I was just kind of reminiscing, remembering someone I haven't talked to in a number of years.
You should get back in touch with her.
Yeah.
Baby, why are you squealing? What's wrong? Nothing wrong. So I'm plating a little bit of Nikyla oxide, kind of in the little seams and cracks on these bracers, because it's supposed to look like bronze.
That was the bit I was excited to see on that.
What's that?
Oh, the bracers getting done.
Oh yeah. This is just the first step. So I'm kind of trying to make it look like it's more natural, because most of your patina is going to come out of, wherever the stuff settles.
Oh.
See, so trying to keep it down into the cracks and stuff, and it looks kind of cool. It almost gives it like an unearthly look. But I'm going to dull it down here in a little bit with some rust. Well, it's not actually rust, it's an oxide. But
just, don't let Alec Baldwin near it.
Who?
Alec
Baldwin.
Oh,
yeah. Poor guy.
I heard rust, and my mind just goes to...
I actually have not formed the correlation between the two mentally. I mean, I know it's a thing that happened, it's a tragedy and all that, but it's just kind of like, I don't know why everybody's harping on it so much. I guess because it's Alec Baldwin, and considering his stance on things,
yeah, you know how it is. It's how it always goes. There's someone big and prominent, and they want to, and people just like, oh, I gotta bring him down a notch.
Yeah, they love it when celebrities take a fall, don't they?
Oh yeah,
but we all do. I mean, I'd like to see Simu Lee take a Simu Liu or whatever his name is from Shang Tsung or whatever the heck the film was. I won't call it by its actual name because why?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mortal Kombat.
I know, I was joking. It's Shang-Chi, but I know Shang Tsung is the guy from Mortal Kombat.
Oh no. Oh, there's a Twitter account I like to follow that I follow called Midwest versus Everyone. It has like 300,000 followers. It follows no one. And I want to share this because I'm probably gonna be getting some wind here this week.
Some wind?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Meanwhile,
I think I've seen this. Whoa.
Oof.
Well, they do call it the Windy City, right? Well, I mean, you're not actually in Chicago, are you?
Oh yeah.
Actually, I don't want you to dox yourself.
Oh, I've not hit it too much that I'm in mid Michigan. To the point where they can just start telling you what the weather, how strong the wind's going to be just by the state of your trash can.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a little bit of this is called dry rust, and that's gonna look pretty cool on this. If I'm real careful with it.
What was the brand on that?
Artist Vallejo.
It's the name. It's one of those, like, I'm pretty sure I've either used that at some point, or I've seen it in the shop, or
Yeah, it's AV. Acrílicos Vallejo. That's how it's pronounced, but baby, please stop chewing on my valuable one-off cards here. Please stop doing that. I know you're a puppy, but please, I can give you so many other chewy things to chew on, and you have to chew on the things that don't belong to you.
I should probably get put myself back on camera.
Were you off?
Yeah, I made the boo-boo.
It happens. I forget too. All right. This is already pretty thin, but I'm going to dilute it a little bit more here with some flow improver. Because I want this to be real weak.
Oh, do I have that up here still? I got this like Tamaya paint. I got this like Tamaya Seamline filler.
Oh, that's nice stuff. For Gundams?
Oh yeah. And it, so you can just put like the very faintest hint of a drop of it to your finger, and it just spreads out into like every little groove of your fingerprint. It flows so nice. I've taken it to Gundam, to like that, or not Gundam. I mean, well, those, yeah, but I've taken it to some Transformers just to kind of fill in some of the extra panel lines.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of give them a little bit more roughed up, and it's like, oh, let's kind of color up this all white Jetfire.
Yeah, Jetfire is one of my favorites. I still have mine, and it's an original.
Oh, the Robotech import.
Uh-huh. Okay, now look at how that bronze looks.
Oh, yeah. I really like that, and especially with that kind of yellowish of the fur.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all like in tone.
Yeah, I like that. I think that came out pretty good. Let's try it on the other one. Baby, please stop. You're okay. You'd think the poor animal was dying in here, but she's fine. Really, she is. Well, I might need to take her out here in a second or two. Maybe part of why she's squeaking at me.
Maybe go another 10 minutes or so, and then we can maybe wrap it up for tonight.
Okay.
But I got a bunch of barrels painted and a couple of intellect devourers. And then next time I'll get into a little mind flare. Maybe give them a little, maybe not drop them quite so much.
Yeah, look at that. Even on camera, that looks pretty good, I think.
You are gonna have to post some pictures of that on Twitter.
It'll look better in photo, because I don't know why the cameras and stuff are really blowing it out. Yeah, can you please not those shoes, okay? Not those shoes. Please, not those shoes.
Not the shoes.
I don't care if you chew on these other things, just not those. Any other shoe, really. Literally any other shoe but those. She's like, no, I want the expensive ones.
Here, I'll let you chew on my shoes. They're like $13 from Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, please chew on those. No, I want the expensive ones you got over here. I have not puffy-proofed my house, and now I am paying for it, so it's my fault, really. All right, I got those bracers done. I got so much paint sitting out here, I need to throw some of this back. Yeah, I'm not too unhappy with this so far. What I don't want to do is I don't want to get into the trick of using a bunch of wash.
Oh, falling back on with the crutch.
Yeah. What did you knock over? Oh, you knocked over one of my cans of tea? Yeah, good job.
Sounds like you've got a little Ryan Kinnell office there.
What do you mean?
Oh, because he's like, oh yeah, like a pizza, like a week-old pizza box, or
Oh
like
God,
30
no.
Mountain Dew.
No. I actually threw out all my trash today, so my room is actually pretty trash-free.
So you're saying you just made room for next week's for the next trash?
Well, no, I mean this is a full can of tea. I mean, but you know, she's a strong little animal, and she knocks stuff over.
Little doggo.
Doggo strength. Come here, baby. Come here.
So yeah, let me grab a couple of these barrels so I can kind of show. I can get a halfway decent photo or shot of those together. Oh, the doggo!
Here's your puppers. Oh, and she's in everything. Right in.
Got the paw right in the water.
Right in the water. I can't push a baby. Just into everything. We're gonna turn you into a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be instant internet celebrity. It's like, watch this. Your channel is gonna get like suddenly it's gonna get like 50 more viewers because we had a doggo on stream for a couple seconds. You could always hashtag doggo.
Yeah, we'll just have Mark. We'll just have Count Dankula train him.
There you go.
Trainer. Yeah, the barrels aren't too bad.
They look good. They look very barrel-y. I mean, that sounds dumb, but they do.
Hey.
And Intellect Devourers look very brainy.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna work on the Alhoon?
That's gonna be. I think I'm gonna start that one next time. And we got our little.
Yeah. See, those look good. From what I can tell.
Glued them down real quick.
Oh, they're not glued?
No, I mean I just did.
Oh. Are you gonna put any kind of filler onto the base so that the plastic doesn't just stick up like that?
I really should. I'm gonna. I think we'll look into that next week.
I'm gonna recommend Vallejo has good basing material. So I would say go with some of that. It's usually like $15 for a big jar of it, but you know, depending on your output, that'll last you a long time.
Good to know.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I need a nice Harn color here.
So I'm kind of looking
Bony
over,
spikes.
looking over Alhoon here, and I'm already kind of dreading a couple of those little getting in around the tentacles.
Why?
Oh, just trying to get in there and get things kind of clean.
Oh, I see. Because it's so close to the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that drives me crazy. I absolutely hate sculpts where the guy's weapon is being held, like horizontally across their body.
Oh yeah. And then you got that little.
Case in point. Oh, can't see it. Because that is a pain in the butt to get around those. And I mean, and this is a pretty big miniature, so it's not so bad. But, when you get the little bitty ones, it's like, ah! Miniature maker, why do you hate me?
Well, you keep taking my money. How dare you?
They're kind of like, yeah, we know we got you hooked. We don't care.
but at least they're not hitting you in the same way that like Games Workshop is with.
God, yeah. They got a good racket, don't they?
Oh yeah, actually, I got a thing right here. Ugh. And this would be one of the things I will be getting around to painting. I got some. I think I showed this off at one point. Got a bunch of BattleTech mechs
Oh,
for about $30. I got 5 mechs, which is a battle lance.
yeah. And you know how long it's been since I played Mech Warrior? I'm gonna tell you, it's been at least as long as Ash is old. Probably longer. 'Cause I think my last game of Mech Warrior was back when I was still in high school. So
Was it Catalyst Games Labs or Catalyst Lab Games?
mm-hmm.
Catalyst Games Labs.
Yep. The guys who are behind the new Shadowrun 6th edition.
Yes. The minis turned out pretty well.
They look pretty cool. I still have friends who are very, very big into BattleTech, Mech Warrior, and all that.
And it would seem like a lot of the Warhammer guys are making a little hop, skip, and jump over.
I wonder if it's any cheaper. I would guess so. I mean, you bought that for $30.
Yeah.
And that's a
5.
lance. Yeah. That's a lot cheaper than, trying to field an army.
I mean, that's the beginner box is $20. You get 2 mechs and a bunch of cardboard cutouts for other ones as well.
But are there tournaments yet?
Not that I've been able to see, though. I have. Oh, I'll show you a picture later. But I was able to go to one of the like 2 or 3 local hobby shops nearby, so I got lucky enough for that. And they still have a bunch of the old like pewter metal minis for BattleTech from before WizKids got the license for a minute there.
Nice. My good friend had a whole bunch of those. Unfortunately, he has passed away. I keep this happens more and more often. It's kind of like, it's like, oh, I have a friend who had this, but he's dead. I don't know why. I'm sorry, but I mean, it's true though. Because I remember that's one of the things that he was really happy about, and he was clever because one of the things that he did was his vehicles, because he had the little metal vehicles. He would pull out the BattleTech maps, that we would play on back then.
Yep.
And he would painstakingly color match the vehicles to the terrain on the map. And then he would deliberately, go hide the vehicle on those squares that had that same matching color. And I mean, because the vehicles are so small and have such small profiles, people would actually forget that he had these vehicles on the map and overlooked them while they were playing. I mean, yeah, maybe that's kind of cheesy, but still, it worked.
It is a strategy.
I guess you could probably get away with that now. I mean, it's harder to do that with a mech because, mechs are kind of a bit more three-dimensional than a vehicle, but I guess if you were just to do it right. All right, I'm doing a quick paint job on those horns. They're far from finished, but at least it's a start. Might as well go ahead and get these teeth too, because they're going to be about the same color.
I wanted to at least get the, show there's nothing up his sleeves except black paint. Start a little bit of them. Oh, of course, I just can't even focus.
This guy has the most beautiful smile.
Oh, there. Hey. And we're just gonna kind of get a little bit started in and get some of those fun little details.
There you go. How's that for a face?
Oh, a face only a mother could love.
Not even. I don't think he's got a mum.
You're his mama now.
Damn Skippy. Okay, let's see. I don't know what color to... I mean, in all the literature and everything like that, they have the face looking kind of face skin tone color. I don't want to do that. So...
Honestly, I saw it and I thought of like the moblins from Zelda.
I've not seen those.
They got a little kind of round pig nose that's very similar to that.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be more bull, but yeah, it does kind of look more piggy.
Yeah, they're like little goblin pigs.
I have not played a Legend of Zelda game since Legend of Zelda 2, so I'm very much behind the times.
I have a coworker who I've been like introducing to some of the games, and he's also never played this before, except he's now finally started with Breath of the Wild on the Switch as his first, which is, I think, probably one of the best places for him to start, because he's very much of that, like, well, I want to know how it all starts. He wants to start at the start of a franchise, like, and
yeah, well,
Wind Waker, but I wanted to. There you go. There's your.
Oh wow, it's kind of a grayish.
It was just like the nose stuck out to me.
I'm surprised the woke crowd hasn't gotten a hold of those by saying, "Oh, it looks like," you know.
Oh, maybe
that's where they got that idea from.
Maybe.
Because they are kind of orky looking.
Oh, there's another smaller enemy that I'm thinking of. Oh, they were called bokoblins, I guess. Here.
Bokoblins?
There we go. That was what I was thinking of.
Oh, well, piggy guys.
Yeah, it's like if you had a pig and one of the gremlins make a baby.
You had a pig and you hated it.
Oh, jeez. You fed it after midnight.
Let's see, I'm going to go with a little bit of shadow flash. I think that will look pretty sweet because it's already kind of like a really deep orange color. Craze, that's the name of the guy. Yeah, he's the guy who makes these. This is Jason Craze, and that's the guy who I have mainly learned from him and Kenny Boucher. They are my mentors for painting.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, Jason Craze is the man behind Monument Hobbies, who makes these very excellent paints. And I love them.
I am good. I got one here that's Lich Blue.
Oh, Lich Blue.
I think I've got to use it on him.
Oh.
Alhoon.
I'm sitting here trying to squeeze it out. I'm like, why isn't it going to coming out? Okay. So I must have an open shadow flesh color here somewhere.
Yeah, I think I
got
such
a smart guy t-shirt, huh?
I think I got these D&D paints from a set that came with a little Drizzt.
Oh yeah, that's the Underdark paint set.
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna go with burnt red first, and then I'm gonna use shadow flesh over the top of that, so we keep the flesh looking dark.
And wow, this paint is not even mixing. It's like it came out all water. So I gotta pop that little top and see if it.
Those army painter paints separate real bad.
Oh, I can only imagine.
They do. Wow, this is really darker red than I had anticipated. This may not work. Let's see. That's like almost like a straight up demon tone there. Which it is a demon, so there's that, but
So we've hit the 2-hour mark. So you know, if you want to see how you're feeling.
I'm okay. I mean, I normally paint for hours and hours at a time. But if you are wanting to move on to something else, I completely understand. I mean, it's your channel, man.
All right. Maybe about another half hour.
Okay.
Hey, why not?
No tabletop list tonight, so don't have that to look forward to. Which I watch that pretty religiously, not necessarily because of the obvious reasons, but just because I really like Grimm's GMing. And
you mean to tell me you don't watch Critical Role?
No. I've tried watching a few episodes, and honestly, it's boring. Which says something. I mean, because they have the talented voice actors and all that stuff, but to me, it really comes off fake.
Oh, RPG Pundit has talked quite a bit about them, and I've heard him go on about it. Personally, I just can't be bothered at this point to watch it because there's so much to that, which is unfortunate because my DM is a huge fan of it.
Yeah, most of the 5e players I play with are really big Critical Role fans, and I don't. That's fine. It's whatever they like. I don't crap on them for that. I think Matthew Mercer is a talented dude. I don't have anything against the guy personally. I mean, it's not his fault that his fans are just rabid. But they rapidly will turn on him just as much as they will anybody else who says anything about the show.
I mean, if for nothing else, I would like to see them get out a bit more and show off some other systems.
Oh, they're not gonna, because they are so heavily backed by Wizards of the Coast that is pretty much their lock and stock, and that is another reason I kind of fault them. Because there are other systems out there, but of course they had to start with the world's most popular, so. And to me, it just all feels very commercial.
Well, I mean, hey, credit to them. It's working for them. It's
9 million.
Yeah.
I can't poop on that kind of money, man. That's just really good.
I wouldn't be turning it down.
Heck no. You want me to get up and voice act for a few hours on a D&D stream for 9 million? Yeah, I think so.
I think it could be arranged.
Yeah, I don't even.
I mean, I wish it would be arranged, but
yeah, that'd be nice, huh? Well, the thing is, if I've seen some fairly good attempts for other people to mimic that, and they're not very successful. And I feel bad about it because I kind of feel like they were trying to buy into the same lifestyle and level of fun and everything else that Critical Role, purports to give people. And I'm just kind of like, you guys must be pretty disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, look, ultimately it's good and bad. It's kind of one of those like, well, on the plus side, it's made D&D popular, but on the other side, I mean,
It's made it popular with people who don't play D&D.
yeah. And it also sets an expectation for people. They think they're going to get the Matt Mercer effect, or the Matt Mercer treatment.
Mm-hmm. Golly, can you imagine being Matt Mercer and being told, hey, guess what? You're responsible for this? And having a whole syndrome pretty much named after you?
I cannot even imagine.
Then again, when he cashes the $1 million check every year, I'm sure he probably thinks, what do I care?
I imagine he probably also gets a little cut from that, from his D&D tie-ins.
Oh yeah, because they're making buck on they're making bank on the figures and the books and the tie-ins and all that stuff. They're making plenty of bank on that stuff. Plus, he's got his own little world that's been published, and he had his own little class published. And
I mean, not that I feel like not that I need to restate it, but I mean, good for him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I suppose it would be really easy to be sour grapes because of that, because it's like, he's pretty much, he's kind of living the D&Der's dream. Because who would not want millions of dollars and licensing and your own setting and everything like that published by the company, and to be considered an ambassador of the company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, even Gary Gygax would probably endorse the dude.
Yeah, I was just saying, I have to imagine he would. He's the point that it's gotten so big, so popular now that they sell the player's handbook in Walmart.
Yeah. Imagine that. And this is, and that, and it wasn't that long ago that we had the Satanic Panic and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, look at it now. It's, I mean, where it's all at. Sorry, stammer got to me.
You okay?
Oh no, I sometimes I stammer like that every now and then. Like, I swear I could probably sit here and go, I could use a water.
I had a cousin who had a stammer like that too. Except he like straight up had a stutter, like straight up. So it'd take him a little while to get his words out every once in a while, but he'd work through it.
Yep.
And you'd actually manage yours real well. So.
My father would oftentimes say, I don't need a DNA test. I just have to hear that stammer on him to know he's mine, because he does the same thing. Okay, this Alhoon has turned into more of like he's got the darker blue wasn't really working, so now he's kind of got this lighter gypsy blue color to him. But I kind of like it, and I think it'll kind of make the inevitable like gray flesh color I do opt to put on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll kind of work with that. Plus, I can always just come up with a bit of a black wash.
Yeah, my guy's like straight up red faced.
Oh, he's looking mad. He's angry.
He's an angry bull. He's not agreeable.
Is his name Terry?
Yes, he is Terry Bull. Unfortunately, that means he's not as cool as Terry Bogard, but oh well. We can't all be that cool. Okay.
I was surprised to see Terry got into Smash Brothers.
I know. I'm kind of irritated that, all the cool SNK crossover stuff is all happening at this point in my life, because it's like, oh, good. You just waited until I was so old and so riddled with carpal tunnel that I can't do the moves and shit anymore to do all this. Because let me tell you, back in the day, I used to put down some Hadoukens on some butts. But old age has caught up to me and kind of said, you know what? Your wrists are not going to be able to do this for very long. So I do short bursts of Tekken or Street Fighter, because I can't handle long sessions of it, because it starts to wear down on my wrists really hard.
Yeah. Which do you prefer, by the way, of the probably SNK?
Of all the fighting stuff?
Yeah.
I gotta go with Street Fighter because it's the original, and it does have my favorite fighting game character of all time, Akuma / Goki. But I did own a Neo Geo back in the day.
You are the first person I've ever heard even say they owned one.
I had one, and man, it was nice.
Because, let me tell you something. It felt like for a while there, it was like, a schoolyard, like, I saw a Neo Geo.
No, I had one, and I had lots of games on it too. Because I started going to work back when I was 16 years old, and pretty much worked pretty much freaking day of my life. Because I have expensive hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, Neo Geo is a very expensive hobby.
Did you see the little retro Neo Geos they brought out a while back?
I did. I need to get one someday.
Okay, I need to put this thing on so I'm making the prime mistake of grabbing the figure by the head.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You need to get a holder.
I have one here. I just gotta. There we go. Like I said, it's like one of those cardinal sins. It's like, no, then good luck reminding players not to pick them up by the head.
Oh, doesn't that make you upset? You do your nicely painted miniature that you worked on for hours and hours, and then people just kind of throw it around like it's, $2 G.I. Joe or something. I was like, God damn it, stop that.
Not so much, because again, I have a lot of WizKids, like pre-painted ones.
Oh, well, yeah, those are okay, but can you imagine someone throwing around something nice like that Minotaur?
Or rather, I should say, I use a lot of the either like there was a hot minute there where I was just going to one of my local hobby shops, and I would buy those like outrageously expensive, seem like overpriced, almost Games Workshop level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, $15 for 4 minis.
Oh yeah.
But then again, hey, I just bought 5 battle mechs for 30,
and they're not even painted.
Yeah. Which, that's something else I gotta get into. I need to decide what I'm gonna paint my stuff with.
How's that looking now?
Ooh. What came to mind was like the Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Which part?
Just kind of coming off of the side of his eye there. On the camera right.
Okay, let me fill that in a little bit there then, because I sure don't want people to think of Hershey's chocolate syrup. I was just trying to darken the eyes a little bit.
like, I can't like lie about it. It's like, yeah, I like it, but I always like kind of the more cartoony sort of look to my things.
I try to do a more organic type painting and stuff, but yeah, sometimes I get a little bit carried away.
Just say something like, "Oh, it looks like Alfred Hitchcock was directing it in Psycho."
Maybe he was. What are you gonna tell me? You don't like Hitchcock films?
I've not seen enough. I mean, a few I've seen that I do like. I like The Birds.
The Birds.
The Birds.
I've only seen like Rear Window and Psycho. Or no. Which is the one where the guy has acrophobia real bad?
Vertigo.
Vertigo, yes, Vertigo. Vertigo and Psycho. I've caught parts of The Birds, but I've never actually managed to see the whole thing.
I really enjoyed North by Northwest.
Where Cary Grant's being chased down by a plane. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Land on him?
Then he like pulls out a machine gun. You're like, oh, that's what he's gonna do. And Seth MacFarlane has, parodied it only about 1,000 times.
Good old Seth. I like old Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
What's the word on? Oh, what's the word on the next?
Orville?
Yeah.
I think I heard March.
Cool. I need to catch up on that while there's time.
He's got a whole like kind of big band album he did.
All right.
That was like music for the soul, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I played at work sometimes, and like a coworker would kind of look at me funny because it's like that. It's almost like you imagine like I don't want to say Frank Sinatra. I don't want to say Frank Sinatra because that's too obvious. The one, or that's sort of like the big band.
Kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like like you kind of imagine like they got the full band that kind of travels around with them, and the album's called Music is Better Than Words. I'll send you a sample of it later.
Sure. I like all kinds of music. Oh, and speaking of that, I got a message from Memnock earlier this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he would like to do another interview, but he wants to bring along one of his other friends from the old black metal scene, or some of his guest vocalists, and some of the other people who've worked with him on the next one. And I thought, whoa, yeah.
Like, what are you, child Memnock? No?
Heck no, I'm not going to tell the Lord of Metal no. Oh, can't possibly do that. When do we do it? I keep thinking, if we keep doing good, getting lots of celebrities and stuff on, no matter how big or small they are, eventually Faderhead will take a notice and go, okay, I got to get on that show. That's what it's all about, man. That him and Mike Pondsmith.
Oh yeah.
Pondsmith is still my big show. I want to get Pondsmith so bad. Pondsmith, if you ever hear this, still want you on the show.
I'll make sure to send that clip his way.
Okay. I should probably start doing that. It's like every time I say that, it's just, clip it and send it to our Talsorian Games. Eventually they'll be like, Mike, this dude just keeps going on and on and on.
They're like, put it in the t-shirt folder.
Yeah. We'll ignore it later. Busy writing Cyberpunk.
Now tell me more about the Voodoo Boys.
Yeah. He's on the Cyberpunk radio, right? In the game.
Really?
Yeah. He's the conspiracy show thing.
Okay.
That's him talking. But one of the real reasons I want to interview him, right?
Why is that?
Because I missed my chance the first time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because way back in Origins 1990, I believe it was, 1991, maybe 92, I went to Origins and I saw him. He was there with his wife. And I mean, literally, dude, I could have reached out there and touched him on the arm and said, "Hey, Mike." But here I am. I'm like 18 years old. I'm scared. I'm like, I don't know how to address a big celebrity or anything. And so I just sat there mute and just watched this figure of legend walk by me. And it's not like I didn't know who he was, because I had Mechton. I had Cyberpunk 2020. I had all the R. Talsorian stuff at the time, except Falkenstein. I've never had a copy of Falkenstein. And so that moment in history walked right by me, and I have regretted not saying something for my whole life, especially now that Cyberpunk has gotten so big. Similar story with Mark Reinhagen, too, actually, because he was at that same con, and, man, he looks super duper intimidating in his combat boots and green fatigues and stuff. And so I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to this guy. He's kind of scary. I mean, I knew who he was because I had Vampire, but that's okay, because years later I actually got to talk to him. He's friends with me on Facebook. So.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, we're all cool now.
There was a little local paper here called it was called the Flint Comics here for Flint, Michigan, and it was like this little free paper that they would just do it was run via advertisements, and it would have a bunch of like old they'd throw some old like Judge Dredd comics into it, and some of the local comic artists would go and have their own stuff in it. And I went to a convention earlier this month, and while I'm there, I've got on like my Cyberfrog hoodie, and he looks over and he's like, "Oh, hey," he's like talking about Ethan Van Sciver. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know Ethan." And we got talking a little bit about some of the regional stuff. It was I kind of remember that, and it kind of reminded me what you were saying reminded me of that.
Well, that's cool. See, but in your case, you actually got to talk to somebody. I didn't. I had the opportunity, and I just let it slip on by.
But like in your case, this guy is friends with me on Facebook.
That is cool. I mean, at least you keep in touch somehow. The other big hitters I would like on my channel is I would love to get Ian Livingston and Steve Jackson, because they were the original founders of Games Workshop. But I don't care about that so much. I care more about the fact that they used to write the fighting fantasy books that I grew up on. And I still love those to this day. And I keep saying that if Games Workshop stock keeps dropping the way it is, because they had a 25% stock drop recently. But if it keeps dropping, I would love to get those two guys to buy back the company and maybe steer it in a better direction.
Well, if they don't, then it benefits BattleTech.
How's that?
Well, I mean, you're seeing a lot of the BattleTech players have been jumping, or I'm sorry, the
MechWarrior? The Warhammer players are jumping to MechWarrior.
Yeah, to the point where like the starter set sold out.
Well, yeah. My understanding is that that Warhammer Plus or whatever, Games Workshop Plus or whatever it is tanking. And of course, their idea of shutting down all the fan sites and everything else has really, really rankled people.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, that would do it. I mean, it's like, okay, I don't think you can find it on YouTube anymore because I think he's turned off all that stuff. But Brother Afabusa used to do a YouTube video series that was called "If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device."
I've heard of this series.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was about like the funniest thing ever. I mean, imagine, the Emperor is finally able to talk, and then he wakes up and is just kind of like, what the hell happened to my Imperium while I've been asleep? Well, we did all these things in your name, but I never said do that. You mean my people are this stupid?
What are these tech priests doing over on Mars?
Yeah. Oh, God. The funniest thing, too, is how familiar with JoJo are you?
I finished up part 8.
Okay, so you've gotten all the way to part 8. So you know who the Pillar Men are, right?
Oh, yeah. Cars and AC/DC.
Yeah. The Adeptus, oh God, what are those guys' named? The Emperor's own personal guards, the guys who wear the gold armor. They're not arbites because those are the judges. I don't remember. But anyway, those guys, his personal guards who wear the gold helmets and stuff. Every time they show up, they have the Pillar Men theme song, and they're always shown looking like Pillar Men, except that they wear those Imperial helmet type things.
Praetorian Guard?
Yeah.
I had to do a little Google foo. I mean, I know this off the top of my head. I was just waiting to see if you could solve it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how that works.
What are they called? Adeptus Custodes. Custodes. With their really distinctive gold helmets with the big plumes on them. So yeah, imagine the 3 Pillar Men with those on. Just bare-chested and everything, just like in the show. It was quite to laugh funny, hilarious.
I chortled.
I may have guffawed even.
All right. Well, it is about that time now, and I need to get a little food in me.
All right, then. Well, here is where I'm at the end of our painting.
Okay. Ooh.
Your Alhoon is coming along.
He's got bright, colorful robes.
Bright and colorful.
Oh, it's so you can laugh. It's so you can laugh at him. But you'll be laughing in the end when he's eating your brains.
Your brains will be delicious.
I know, give it to the people. He turns into Bane at the end.
Oh no! Oh, I hated that so much. It's like, oh, Batman, you're so tough. You beat up a giant asthmatic. In that movie. I am Bane. What? I am Bane. Who? I am Bane. He says I'm Barn. I'm in a barn.
He's on the train?
Well, if you take that mask off, he's on a train. What? Eventually, he just takes the damn respirator off and starts choking. Look, I said.
All right, you geeks.
That was a terrible choice. I mean, not that Tom Hardy isn't a great actor. He's a great actor, but I mean, like, seriously, how hard is it to find like a giant Hispanic to play fucking Bane? I mean, seriously, is it that hard, guys? At DC, really? Is it?
Well, I mean, to his credit, it was better than just getting the meathead from Batman and Robin.
Oh god. Yeah, I think I asked Graham Nolan about that once. How come they couldn't get Bane right? And he's like, "Man, I don't know." But he did approve, you know, because I said, "Well, what if we got Batista to do Bane?" And he said, "Yeah, we do Batista. Batista would be a good Bane." And I said, "Yeah, I think so." Yeah, but he's not Mexican. He's close enough. We'll take him, okay?
Yeah, of course, Chuck Wendig is also all right with like Tickle Me Bane.
You know,
because as long as he gets his cut.
Chuck Wendig is a dickhead, just, you know, straight up.
Or did I say
he ain't even funny.
I'm sorry, I'm mixing
Chuck
up
Dixon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember being invited on with Jace to talk with him.
He's cool. I've spoken to him twice now. Chuck Dixon is a laugh riot. He's a good guy. Who else is good too? Were you with us when we talked to Mike Barron?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to bring up a little bit of Robotech.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I feel like I was spazzing out because I was like, Punisher, but I don't care. I mean, it's, you know.
Oh, I'm sure we could ask him some new thoughts on Punisher.
Oh God, no, not that new. God, I hate that new outfit. I mean, it doesn't even look like Frank. It looks like, you know, like, hey, can we get Simu Liu to come, you know, stand in for this Italian guy?
He's Sword Guy the Herderer.
Yeah, Sword Guy the Herderer. Yeah. He doesn't look like Frank Castle. He doesn't, you know, wear the Punisher's outfit or symbols or nothing. I'm like, this is not the Punisher anymore, guys. This is somebody else.
This is now Billy Fortress.
Billy Fortress?
The Herderer.
The Herderer. the slightly miffed. Oh, God. Well, comics, no.
Well, on the plus side, I think that's probably a good place to end it for tonight with a nice little laugh.
Yes, because you have to laugh, because if not, you'll cry. Anyway. Y'all take care. Thank you very much, Ironcaster. Thank you for having me on.
Yep. Well, thank you for coming.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it again.
All right.
Really, let's do it right now. Let's do it again. No.
All right. I'll end. I'll start.
Okay.